this drawing, we have a standard template in inches, and you can see my layouts here. Let me get them going. There's one. These are all, it was designed for standard, and this drawing I've got in here, I drawed it in metric. And you're going to see when I put my dimension on here, oh, you can't even see it. It's so small. Well, what it's saying is, if you want it metric, even when I go up here to format and units and change it to millimeter, it still doesn't change it the way that this thing's set up. So what you have to end up doing is converting this thing into the exact same size in inches. Now, what it's saying, when you put 50 in whenever you got a standard template in inches, what it's telling you is this is saying this is 50 inches. Regardless if I change the units up here, it's still going to do it in inches. So this is saying 50 inches, and we need to convert this thing down to its accurate size. Now, if you get your calculator and you take 50 millimeters and you want to see what it's going to be in inches, just take and times it by 0.03937, and this 1.9685 inches is equivalent to 50 millimeters. Okay? So this is what I want to show you to do on this. If you come upon this instance and you need to change something, I would just go up here to scale, up here in your modify, right click to enter, give it a base point, right there would be fine, and type in 0.03937. And again, that's 1 millimeter is equal to 0.03937 inches. So hit enter on that, and I zoom in, and now this thing would be exactly its actual size, but it's in inch terms. So if I go in here and do a radius, so that's exactly what 50 millimeter is in inches. It's just converting it. So we drawed it up like it was millimeters, and then we scaled it down. Now, if you're working and your boss or instructor wants this thing in millimeters, well, after you've already drawn it in millimeters, when you convert it down to here, all you got to do is just click on this and come over here into text in your properties. If you don't have properties turned on, you can just click on this, right click, or actually just right click on your screen. Well, now clicked on a line, I hit properties, and it'll bring properties up. I click on my text, and I can come over here now. This is supposed to have been 50 millimeters. I can come over here to get all my properties in there. There we go. There's my drop down tab, and I can come down here and text override. Just double click right there and put radius, cap lock it, radius of 50. And you'll zoom in here and see how it changed it to a radius of 50. And then this one's supposed to be a 0.8858. I'll go in here and calculate that up. But of course you'd have the number right in front of you because you drawed it, but to convert from inches to metric, you take and divide by 0.03937, and you get 22.499, so it'll be 22.5. So just click on it, slide down here to text override, 22.5, making sure I got an R in front of that. Now you can also just double click them, and you can change them from there. You can just do like radius is, R is on that one 325. You could do it like that too. So either way you want to do it, it's probably easier to just double click on it. And now when you bring it into layout, it's so much easier just to come up here and bring it in. We're going to make this 1:1 scale. 1:1. Whoop. Get back here now. Hit Z for zoom, E for extent. Well, let's do a scale to fit. And it'll bring the picture back in. I want to turn back to model and zoom this thing in real tight so I can see it, and then do a 1:1 scale. If 1:1's it's too big, we'll scale it down to 1:2. Okay. Half scale fits a little bit better, but you're noticing your dimensions, you can't see those that well. So if you get into that shape, use the annotative when you go back to model, and I can do some things right here. I'll bring this thing down just a fuzz and over. Make sure I turn off all my snaps so it doesn't drive you crazy. And then I'd grab this one, pull it down, and go 1:1 on that. No, it was 1:2, wasn't it? Bring that up. Looks a little better. But now these texts have to be 1/8 of an inch. So you want to go back to your model space. And if you're going to use a 1:2 scale, you got to change it right here. Go up to annotate. Change this to annotative. Modify. Okay, all that should be fine. Make sure this is 1/8 of an inch, 0.125. Okay. Close. And now I'll go back in there and just dimension again. And see, it's going to have that dimension the same as what you had. Just double click it. R50. Get rid of that one. Now, we overrid that one. Let's see if I can do this now. If you go back to home, there is a match properties. If I click on this, I can go to this. Yeah. See how I done that? You go to match properties, click on this, and it doesn't change your number. You just come down and so now it'll be perfectly set up when you go into your layout, and they'll actually print out at a half scale. Half scale is what our layout's set up at. Half scale is what our dimension, so it will print out at 1/8 of an inch text. So try that. If you have any questions, holler at me.